Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop. And this is a review of this. Actually, I have it right here. Of Age of Chaos, the latest Doctor Who magazine comic strip collection. That's what I'm looking for. Latest Doctor Who magazine comic strip collection. I have all of these things. I absolutely adore them. I'm really glad they put this range out. I'm surprised they put this out because the last one they did was Ground Zero, which filled in the final gap. And that's basically had all of the main strip was here. I got them over here. 1 second. There. You see them all over there. It was the last one before they have a complete reprint of all the strips. So I didn't think they were going to do any more. I thought maybe they'll pick up the backup strips, which I really want them to do. Like, I really want them to. They look fantastic, and stuff that I haven't really seen light in print for years. You got great artists, David Lloyd, Steve Dillon, who was it? Dave Gibbons. There's a lot of good stuff there. I'm really hoping they don't mix it into the final Jodie strips. They are... I think they got about 70 pages of Jodie strips left, and it's not enough to make a collection. You need about 150. It's about halfway there, right? So I really don't hope they don't mix in it. Best bet if they want to do another Jodie collection is try and license something from that Titan Comics printed. It seems to me that why is Titan Comics keeping the license? They're not doing anything with it. They're not publishing any Doctor Who comics. So it seems to be, if you're not publishing a Doctor Who comic, it seems to be might be a bit of a waste of resources, right, to do that. So anyway, we're going to be doing a review of this, and sadly I have to say this collection is for the completists only, which I am. I mean, other than the Jodie stuff, I am a completist. I'm glad I got it. Now it's. I wish I heard this review first, so I would have skipped it. Right? If only I was there for me, like I'm there for you. Right, baby? That'd be great. Fine. Before we get into the review, can you hit the like button? Can you hit that share button? Hit that subscribe button. We got up to 3,080 subscribers the other day. I mean, it went down again, obviously. YouTube isn't a fan of that, but hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much. I am insanely grateful. Comment, let me know what you think, and also go check out my Indiegogo, which is basically this is it. I want to get it to print this month. I got a week to do it. I got the files already. Basically, I'm doing this campaign. I've got to make the JPEGs to put on Twitter every day. End of days. I want to know everybody. This campaign is closing. I'm really happy with it. It's done well. You get 2 awesome comic books. You got Biblical. It's 220 pages long. I wrote and drew this. Freaking incredible. Bible stories, atheists, Cratists, rationalists, and rogues. Biblically based, not preachy in any way, shape, or form. Well, at least I don't think so, and I wrote and drew it, so I guess I have a say in it, right? And I wrote this one, The Imperium. Dominic Racco did the art. Love Letter to Teddy Fancy of the 1960s. Also in there, by the way, I really don't plug this enough. I did these Ice Warrior strips, which are like these one-page strips. It was a free fan thing, right? Years ago with a guy called Dominic Racco, with Stefano Cardacelli on the art. So that's all reprinted in there as well. It's a good collection. It's a good collection. You got a bit of Prisoner there, a bit of Thunderbirds. And now you get all the extras. You get this Noble Savages poster, was a pin-up, now a poster. And, you get the male gaze cards. Oh, you've seen all this stuff that you're going to get. If you haven't, go check out the video notes. And really, it's now or never, baby. I'm closing this up. Because a very important part of crowdfunding is to provide the backers with their things they backed, right? And I've really got to do that now. And I'm excited to do it. So I can move on to the next thing. Fine, let us move on to the next thing, which is this. Age of Chaos. Yeah, not very good. This is not very good, I'm afraid. What this is what you do when you woke yourself out of a job. So the editor of this is Scott Gray. He was the editor and writer and in the last strip, the artist of Doctor Who, of the Doctor Who comic strips in Doctor Who magazine. But Doctor Who magazine can't afford a comic strip anymore because they've alienated so much of the audience. They don't make enough money to do it, and it's tragic, right? This is first time in over 30 years that there hasn't been Doctor Who comics, maybe over 40 years. Yeah, they've destroyed it. They have absolutely destroyed it by going to war with the readership, and then COVID came along and they lost the war. That's essentially what happened, right? But I think I think COVID only increased sped things up for a year or so at the absolute most. It wasn't doing it. So he's the editor and he's also the production designer. That means he cleans up all the artwork. So there's several stories in this. You got main one is the Age of Chaos. It's a 4-part Colin Baker story from 92. Oh, it actually says in here. You know what? Why am I guessing? I'll just look in here. From originally paid Age of Chaos. Now I've got to look at the back. They do have very good making ofs in the back, right? So this was edited by Gary Russell, and so it was around 92, right? I think it came out in 92. The Genesis was 91. They just finished doing Doctor Who Classic Comics magazine, and it sold pretty well. They did a special with Evening's Empire, which was the Shada of Doctor Who comics at the time, where the artwork was lost, I think, for the second or third part, and so basically it was lost to time. So that sold really well, and Gary Russell, the editor there, said he thought there would be a market for original Doctor Who comics, which they could sell to America and do as a special in the UK. And so Marvel said, it's not really enough. They said, how about this? What about if you get Colin Baker to write it? Is that enough for a hook? And they said yes. So while that was the thing that made them say yes, it was also one of the things that sunk it. Because Colin Baker's not a good writer. He's not a professional writer. Certainly not a good comics writer. He doesn't know what he's doing. There was the story was weak and childish. It felt much more like a 1970s annual story where people don't act or talk like any of the characters are supposed to be. And the writing was clunky and uncomfortable. Like, the writing was, it had lots of it was just not written well. What really should have happened is Gary Russell, who has written comics before, should have taken the script and rewrote it as a comic, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is they had John M. Burns do the art for it. Now, that was really exciting because John M. Burns is a great artist, absolutely fantastic artist. He did a lot of the looking stuff. If you remember a lot of the Sapphire and Steel, it'd be beautiful painted with pen and ink work around it. This isn't that. This isn't that. So let's start looking at the artwork. Also, I didn't have a digital version, so I had to scan everything in. This is one of the stronger pages. This is absolutely one of the stronger pages. The problem with it is it's drawn for an American market. It's drawn for an American-sized comic, which is smaller than a British comic. I'm seeing if I had any around, I can show the size difference. Actually, I don't. I can go through this, but so when you blow it up to English comic size, it feels too big. The stories it doesn't. It doesn't fill up the page properly, so the visual storytelling makes it a lot weaker. This is some of the best art in it. So this is Perry's daughter, Perry and Icanos' daughter. Yeah, okay, it's Colin Baker drawing it. And here we see some of the incredible likenesses. I mean, get through this comic. It is like, really? It's just, I don't know what they're thinking. That doesn't look like Colin Baker in any way, shape, or form. So anyway, he was only the artist on the first issue, the first 22 pages, and then he went, I don't really want to do this, and so they got another artist. What's the other artist called? Barry Mitchell, another old school annual type artist, not a comic book type artist. And you can't really tell the difference because it's equally awful, right? It's equally bad. Again, really? Who is that? I don't know. Listen, it's an interesting curio, but honestly, this is one for the completists only. Oh yeah, here we got some more excellent likenesses of Colin Baker's Doctor. It's like, that'll do, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. But maybe they should have hired a better artist, an American comics artist. So it's a weak story. It's a weak story, badly told and badly rendered. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just not very good. I didn't buy it at the time. I was newly married, I think. It in rabbinical seminary at the time, and so I wasn't really in the fan scene, so I didn't buy it at the time, and I felt like I didn't miss anything, and I was pretty right. So this was a comic that was originally published in color. So I think they pulled out every other color comic they could find to fill this out. There's only 88 pages. So firstly, we got this thing called The Last Word. I think this might have been the first color comic. So this is Lee Sullivan doing the artwork. Now, Lee Sullivan became the de facto artist during the McCoy years, and it took a while for him to like settle down. I'm not a huge fan of his. He's very good when he does Daleks. His Dalek stuff is excellent. Everything else is a bit meh. So this story is about the 10-year anniversary of the New Adventures. That shows you how old it is. And who did the coloring on this? Lisa. Roger. Lisa did the art and coloring. It does kind of show. And this story goes through all the tropes of the New Adventures, which I liked a lot. So for me, it worked. At least this artwork is kind of professional, right? And the people look like the people they're supposed to look like. So other than that, it's okay. I mean, it's a Gareth Roberts story, so I'm surprised that they agreed to publish this. Publish that him because he's so insanely cancelled. But maybe not. Who knows or dares to dream. So yeah, listen, that's quite a good backup story. The strongest story in it comes from the, I think, 92 yearbook. This one also art by Lee Sullivan. This is a pretty darn good story. It's a doctor turns up on this base, and he obviously gets arrested, finds a body and gets arrested for killing him, as the doctor does. Written by Paul Cornell, I believe. And again, Paul Cornell, big douchebag, massive douchebag, I would say. Very, very good Doctor Who writer. Everything else I see him write isn't very good. Anyway, so at the end of the first part, we get a nice cliffhanger, and thank God the Daleks are in it, because that's where Lee Sullivan is really at his best. So it's an interesting Dalek-y story. There's the space station growing embryos, and the embryos are kind of taken over to become Daleks. And again, you get really nice little bits of artwork like this, which I really do enjoy. Yeah, it's a strong. This is the strongest 16 pages in the collection. And the last one, I'm sorry, I don't have good scans of it. I just used my phone because I went, really, if they couldn't be bothered, why should I? So this is story by Dan Abnett. It's good, and pencils by Vincent Danks. With the pencils look like they're okay. Inks by Cam Smith. The inks are not good at all. This is fanzine level stuff. I think low fanzine level stuff. It's not really professional, right? It's very tracing. The proportions wrong. There's not enough detail. Look, God bless him. I'm glad he got the job. I think he says it's his first thing he did. It's just it's not professional. Bottom line, it's just, oh, I got that page twice. Yeah, it's not professional. It's a bit fan wanky because it's the fourth Doctor story, and all of a sudden the third Doctor shows up as well, not looking anything like the third Doctor. So there's that, and then we get a bit of Seedales. But as I said, it's just it's like early work from Vincent Danks, and it's just not good enough. Bottom line, it's just not good enough to call itself professional. I mean, if I may zoom in for a second, like, well, what's that looks more like Who Done It than Doctor Who. So yeah, look, this one I get it. This one is for avoiding it. I wouldn't be surprised if Scott Gray chose these lackluster art offerings to make his own one not look so terrible. Like the story he drew, it was a Bruce Lee story with the Jodie Doctor. Compared to this unprofessional stuff, his stuff that didn't look so bad. Compared to good Doctor Who comics, it's just not professional. So this one, again, if you're a completist, if you got the rest of them, there's no Jodie in it. Here's that going on. Good cover by, I think, Mark Farmer. But other than that, this is really for completes only. Other than yeah, avoid. I would say avoid, and I kind of wish I did. I mean, I'm glad I got it and completed it to my collection, but I could have so lived without it, right? I could have so lived without it. I believe so can you. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the evil rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell, so you are notified when new videos drop.